It is time to continue with our top 10 countdown of the greatest championship matches. Top 10 championship matches in Royal Rumble history. This week we are up to number 4. Now, last week we cracked the top 5, with number 5 being the triple threat match for the WWE title at the 2015 Royal Rumble. This week at number 4, it is not only one of the greatest championship matches in Royal Rumble history, it is one of the greatest championship matches in WWE history. Representing the SmackDown brand, Kurt Angle defends the WWE title against Chris Benoit at the Royal Rumble 2003, a pay-per-view that has the distinction of having one of the best and one of the worst championship matches in WWE history. The fact that both matches were placed back-to-back on the show only accentuates the point when you watch it back. It really just stands out to you, the contrast between these two matches. Now let me talk a little bit here about Steiner and Triple H. That was the other match. It was Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, who had just come to WWE a few months earlier, challenging Triple H here at the beginning stages of his reign of terror for the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw. One of the most disappointing matches with two big names that you'll ever see. And just bad. It was just a bad match. The first half was just dull more than anything else. But the longer it went, the worse it got. It gets a bad rap because of that second half, and it is well deserved. It just fell off a cliff. Add to that, it had a cheap DQ finish to boot. So it's bad enough you have to sit through a slop fest like that. To do that and then get a cheap DQ finish, yeah, people were not very happy about that. Steiner couldn't do much. I can't even put it on Triple H. Scott Steiner at this stage could not do much other than suplex. The difference is between him and Brock Lesnar, before people pipe up, oh, well, that's all Brock Lesnar does. Well, let me tell you the difference. The difference is that, first of all, Brock Lesnar does have, as you saw last week, if you watched that triple threat match from 2015, he has an explosiveness about him that Scott Steiner just did not have at this stage of his career. But the other thing also is, I get the sense that Brock Lesnar has not forgotten how to wrestle. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this NCAA collegiate champion here, who did pro wrestling for a long time before he left, didn't just wake up one day and forget how to pro wrestle. He could do a lot more than he does. He just chooses not to because he doesn't have to. In his mind, he can just suplex people around, suplex city bitch, sell a little bit, hit an F5 and go home. Scott Steiner here, I don't think he could do anything else, even if he wanted to. I mean, he probably did. He probably wanted to go out there and just have a bang-up performance, but he couldn't do it. Physically could not do it. The most embarrassing moment of that match was him going to give Triple H a double underhook suplex and falling down. He fell backwards and fell down, and the crowd booed, and it was very sad. And they built up to this match, by the way, with weeks of pose downs and arm wrestling and push-up contests. You watch this match and you realize why. Steiner just could not do much. But this is not about Triple H against Scott Steiner. I couldn't help it. I had to talk about that. Contrast that with what came immediately after this match. Contrast that with Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. Two of the absolute best ever inside the ring. This match was a fitting conclusion to a story that dates back with these two really all the way to WrestleMania 17 in 2001, that very first match they had. Right on through them teaming up together, winning the tag team titles on SmackDown late in 2002, which, by the way, that's another match I cannot recommend enough. The finals of the WWE Tag Team Title Tournament at the No Mercy pay-per-view in 2002, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit against Edge and Rey Mysterio. One of the greatest tag team matches in the history of this company. Benoit's actually got two of those to his name, in 01 and 02. Not just this match that I just mentioned, but the first one being the Raw match after Judgment Day, where it was him and Jericho against Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H. That was the match where Triple H tore his quads. So back-to-back years, Benoit has the distinction of being part of two of the greatest tag team matches in company history. But anyway, going through that period where Angle and Benoit won the tag belts right on here up to this match, culminating in this match for the top title in the company. Make no mistake, the WWE Championship was the top title. I don't care how it was positioned by WWE at the time. And it was positioned, I think, as it should be, with the WWE title being the top belt, because that's the match that headlined WrestleMania 19. That was the top title in the company, not the one that was handed out of a briefcase to Triple H. Angle and Benoit, they only held those tag team titles on SmackDown for about a month before dropping them. They would bicker back and forth. They couldn't get along. They always tried to one-up each other. It was one-upsmanship between them. Angle then won the WWE Championship from Big Show at Armageddon in December of 2002. Benoit then beat Big Show on TV to become number one contender, and so here we are. Team Angle had Team Angle at the time, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. They were ejected early, so this thing was one-on-one, fair and square. No interference, no cheating or funny business or anything like that. In watching this match back, it had been so many years since I'd seen it. What really stood out to me in watching this, well, two things. Number one, how physical this match feels. The chops are just blistering. The slams are hard. I mean, these guys beat the holy hell out of each other in this match. And two, the first half of this match is good. I would even say maybe very good. But it did not stand out to me as being as good, I guess, or as action-packed as I remembered it being. The first half was very pedestrian in that way, but it was good. But it wasn't anything that really screamed best title match ever to me. That doesn't really come until the second half. That's where things really start to pick up. Once Angle kind of lowers the strap on his singlet, that's where things kick into the next gear. Benoit hit a diving headbutt. I swear to God, if he went halfway across, he didn't go halfway across the ring. He went a good 75% across the ring with this head. He flew with this headbutt across the ring. And it's eerie now to look back and watch him hitting that move for obvious reasons. But from there, they were trading finishers back and forth, crippler crossfaces into Angle slams and ankle locks. The crowd wanted badly for Kurt Angle to tap out on that last crippler crossface. But Kurt rolled through. He turned it into an ankle lock. Benoit tried furiously, just kicking at him and trying to kick him off. And Kurt's like a pit bull. He won't let go. And finally, Angle pulls him to the center of the ring. Grapevines the leg. Benoit's got nowhere to go. He taps out. The crowd loved this match so much, they gave Benoit a standing ovation when it was over. And Benoit pounded his chest, and he saluted the crowd, and it was a great moment. All of Benoit's stuff is very bittersweet now to look back on. You get mixed emotions, but I can look back on these matches and appreciate the hell out of them for what they are, which is some of the best matches that have ever taken place in WWE. And it is a shame. It is a shame that they will not ever again get the attention that they deserve because of what he did. And I completely understand it. That's the way it has to be. But that doesn't mean that we can't feature these matches on countdowns like this. WWE might not. I could see why they wouldn't. But it's not going to stop me from featuring these matches here in this countdown. This is a wrestling match. That's the best way for me to describe it. This is a professional wrestling match. This is what a wrestling match should be. There's not a whole lot else to recap here. There were no ref bumps. There's no weapon shots. There's no table bumps. There's no shocking swerves or anything of that nature. It's just a great pro wrestling match that felt like a real sporting contest between two guys wrestling for the championship. The championship was the most important thing in the world for those 20 minutes. And like I said, the first half was fine, if not, unspectacular. Or fine if unspectacular, I should say. But then it kicked into second gear, and it just gets better from there. Basically the exact opposite of the Steiner Triple H match, which peaked, I'd say, in the first 5 minutes and just got steadily worse. This match should be required viewing, even if I came into this countdown thinking that I would go as high as 2 or 3 on my list. I thought this was going to end up at number 2 or 3 on this list. When I initially conceived of the list, it wasn't until I went back and I watched everything over again that I felt like I couldn't put this higher than 4. Which is really just, it's not a knock on the match, it just means that there's some really good matches here in this countdown. Coming out of the match, just to follow up on the fallout here, Benoit slid back down the ranks. He ended up teaming with Rhino at WrestleMania in a losing effort for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Kurt Angle, of course, lost the WWE title to Brock Lesnar in the WrestleMania main event in a match where Lesnar nearly killed himself on a shooting star press. Angle then had neck surgery. He opted for less invasive surgery instead of the traditional spinal fusion, which would have kept him out for over a year. And it got him back in the ring in about 3 months. That's the good news. The bad news is that it was only a few months after he came back, the surgery was completely undone with one chair shot to the head by Brock Lesnar. Well, you go with the quick fix, and that's what happens, I guess. You get what you pay for.